Welcome into some breaking news out of Istanbul, Turkey. Reports that riots have broken out between Turkish rebels and a Turkish militant group known as the People's Defense Force, also known as PKK. We have reports of a few casualties, but that is all we know as of now. We have Davey Austin reporting on ground from Istanbul. Davey?
David Austin down on the ground here in Istanbul, Turkey, amid several riots. Right behind me, we have reports from authorities of a few casualties, 6 confirmed, many more suspected. Rocks being thrown, pepper spray as well. Sir, this is a live broadcast. Sir,
you have to get out of here. Turn the camera off.
The Buckeyes have taken the national championship. Students are flooding the streets now in celebration, but maybe a little too much, as police have been dispatched as crowd control. Measures have been taken, and we'll send you now to Davey Austin on more information on that.
in front of the Ohio Union here, police lined up. As you can see, Ohio State has come away with the victory, 42-20. All right, thanks for that, guys. So one thing that we reenacted there was an actual event that occurred in Turkey. The other was a reenactment of after the national championship game, newscast in front of the Union. Now, that's not to say that in this country riots don't occur, but we know that riots occur abroad much more often and usually more violently than they do in this country. Now, Mason, what do you feel that we just showed by doing that, and how is journalism affected?
I think as journalists, and even if you're not a journalist, you can recognize that a lot of journalists, you definitely have more rights at home in your home country, like in America, where we have the Constitution, where it protects free speech. People like journalists, they enjoy rights to film wherever they want, say whatever they want, broadcast whatever they want, as long as it's within community standards. Now, when journalists go abroad, as an American journalist, I mean, it's a lot harder, really, to mitigate kind of some of the dangers that can happen, like in a place like Turkey or in a place like Ukraine when the Ukraine protests happen. It's a lot of danger. Their laws are not the same as ours. So, for instance, in Turkey, that journalist was, there was 3 of them actually that were jailed simply because they were suspected of being involved with the PKK when that was not the case at all. And it really just speaks volumes to, sometimes we take for granted a lot of rights that we have here in America in regards to the Constitution, free speech, turning on the news and seeing a news anchor who is not afraid to, speak their mind, but also give you the news, but they can do that without fear of being arrested on set or on camera, whereas you go abroad and a lot of journalists, like we just saw, can, their cameras can be smashed, they can be killed on the spot, they can be arrested for no reason, all because, their laws aren't the same as ours. And I really think that we need to focus more on the ethical points before we focus on the legal points as human beings. They're just trying to do their job, and journalists most of the time are just disseminating information. They aren't really trying to incite a riot or incite violence. And I think we need to focus a lot more on rights of American journalists in America versus when they're abroad, and try to come together and figure out rights for American journalists.
Absolutely, and Dominique, he had spoken that journalists are just trying to do their jobs, and that reenactment there, you had sent it to me in the fictitious sense away, and I was arrested, whereas you couldn't be arrested if you were operating from a news desk in this country. Can you speak on that?
It actually kind of blows my mind how we're working for the same company, we're covering the same story, we're doing the same job, and that person, and I feel kind of guilty that I'm at the desk, I'm safe, I'm reporting, and that person is out in the middle of all that mayhem and has no security, all because they're all in a different country. So it really just makes me want to push for legislators and the government to consider making some type of rule or some type of law to protect these people that work for American companies but are reporting for an American audience in a different country.
Absolutely. It's always tough operating in another country. The State Department can kick in, but really, who knows the situation? Thanks for bearing with us, guys.
Yep, now we want you guys to tell us what you thought.